Rise and shine, everyone. It is Monday morning, May the 6th, and we are so happy to have you start your week off with us. It's going to be a really exciting week, of course, here at Rise and Shine. We always love our community guests and getting to learn more about the community and see what's going out there. So if you are interested in joining us, please send me an email, Courtney@tv24.tv. We would love to hear from you and see what exciting things that you have going on. So on our Monday morning, we get to start it off with Sarah Woolmaker with Anniston Museum and Gardens. Welcome, Sarah.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for getting up and starting your day with us this morning.
Absolutely. We like to start bright and early.
Yeah, why not? It's fun.
For sure.
So many cool things going on at the Museum and Gardens, and you stay really busy.
We're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So we've been in the midst of field trip season.
Okay.
So we've had field trips every day. We have one today. We're actually closed on Mondays right now, but during the spring we'll open on Mondays for our field trips to come in. Because we know our schools, they have some limitations and there's only so many days before that summer break.
Yeah.
But then after our spring season, summer, we open up. So we go to 7 days a week that we're open,
Wow.
starting Memorial Day. So Memorial Day through Labor Day, we're open 7 days a week. And we love it, honestly, because we get so many different folks, and the summer we're busy, but it's sometimes it's the scout groups, or it could be a church group that's coming, or a homeschool group that's trying to throw in one more lesson. It's your YMCA, or these small clubs that are coming together, and we get these random groups that come up, but then we get a lot of family visitors. So we get kids from all ages and adults of all ages as well.
Fun.
Yeah.
The last time I visited, there was a field trip and those kids were having so much fun.
They do.
Yeah, they were in. It was the simulation room where there was a simulation of a tornado and all of the elements, really, like fire.
Yeah,
and
that's our Force Factory.
Force Factory.
We just opened that one. So if our locals remember, Nature Space was our children's hands-on discovery room at the Anniston Museum for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And we were very proud. We completely gutted it and rebuilt, and we created Force Factory. So we talk about the different elements and our natural forces and how the natural world handles them, and then maybe how we handle them. And it's the good and bad side of it, like fire. You can have good fire and you can have bad fire. Wildfires, that's not good. We have to manage that. California especially, they're going to see those. But here in the South, we need fire. We need controlled burns, especially with our Talladega National Forest, Cheehaw, Cleburne County. We've seen a lot of smoke over the last spring because they've done a lot of controlled burns, and they're getting rid of that underbrush. And when they do that, they're creating a cleaner space for more growth to come up. So it's like wiping the slate clean.
Yeah.
So and it enriches your soil so new plants can grow.
Yeah, and they need that. Because
Exactly.
we've got to have those new plants coming in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so all these little critters can have places to stay.
Precisely.
Yes. And it was so interesting. There was also talking about plastics and the use of plastics and how we can help the environment and how we can be good stewards of our world and of our environment. And I thought it was a really interesting room.
It was a good play on our mission. Our mission is to conserve and preserve and to educate the public. And, it was our job to preserve our collection and to teach conservation of our environment. And it was a fun way to do it. We've got kids that go in there that are 18 months old, and we have fourth graders that go in there, and all of them are learning by doing. And when you saw that field trip, you can see that, that's where creativity starts. And if you can get in and start that conversation in there by them playing a game, and then later they're going to bring it up, and maybe, the parents can have that conversation with them. If we don't have it in that moment, it starts the conversation for later.
And it does. They were enjoying it so much. The little earthquake simulator. I think the favorite was the tornado one.
For sure. We always hear. And when someone's been in it because their hair is atrocious.
And it was kind of loud. They were excited.
Yes.
Of course, they were, they were in full force at the Force Factory, that's for sure. But what a great way, like you said, learn by hands-on.
Yeah.
Because in a classroom, of course, you can teach things, but then when they get to go out and have these field trips and get to go see, have that
applying it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they have fun, and the museum is so beautiful. Like
Thank you.
all of it.
Thank you. We're very proud.
The cave system that you have in there, and
You know, that's modeled after the Weaver Cave.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been to the Weaver Cave?
I haven't.
So, yeah, there's I'm not going to remember the name of the organization, so I apologize. But there's an organization that hosts, my husband and I went to it last year. It's Wing Night, and it's not chicken wings, it's a bat night.
Okay.
And so they have a speaker come out and they talk about something related to caves. So that night was all about bats. And then you got to take your lawn chair out to the Weaver Cave. They have it barred now to protect us and the cave itself. But you get to sit there with flashlights and you see them just swarming. It's the coolest experience. And it's 10 minutes down the road. So very cool.
That does sound cool. I think I would have to,
Maybe sit back.
yeah, I don't know if I was brave enough for a bunch of bats, but I mean,
they're like snakes. They don't want to get too close to you.
That's
so
true.
They do keep their distance. But you hear them, you know, calling around, looking for their food. It's so cool.
That's true. Speaking
Really
of snakes, last time that we got to visit, we had my little friend Stella in, and she's so interested in reptiles, and we talked about snakes, and you brought in a few snakes.
I
Taco
did.
was one of my favorites.
He's one of
And
ours
then-
too.
Yes, I loved him. He was so cute. I didn't realize like how much I would enjoy that.
Well, good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's wonderful. I'm glad we got to introduce
When
you
she
to that.
said, I know, me too. Thank
Yeah.
you. When she said she wanted to do that, and she was so excited, I was like, okay, let's do it. And I thought I would be a little hesitant about
Yeah.
them, but you know,
She was a little hesitant.
She was a little more
You know,
hesitant than
she
me.
knew everything, but she thought, let me just look at you with my eyes.
right.
Yeah.
But she enjoyed that so much, and so did I. Know you had Taco, the rat snake, and then we had a ball python. I cannot remember her name. Babette. Okay. I was so Babette, and I loved her too. I toted her around. I was
You
really
did, yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
And then we met Irwin the alligator. And you have a lot of these ambassador animals, and we have some today. We'll check those out here in a little bit, get
For
to
sure.
meet some of the new ambassador animals. How many in total do you have there?
Well, a lot of our ambassadors have passed away in most recent years. We had a senior collection, you could say, a lot of senior citizens. But right now, I'd say we have about 30,
Wow.
primarily snakes. So snakes are just a really good teaching tool, and there's lots of different adaptations and camouflage and colors to talk about. So we do have a lot of snakes. We have a couple of lizards, we have our alligator, and then a few mammals, and then our raptors. So our raptors are one of my favorites. I did not bring one today. They can make a bit of a mess.
And what are raptors?
Raptors, you're talking birds of prey. So we have
Oh.
hawks and owls on our property that are deemed non-releasable. So currently we have 3. We have a great horned owl, and her name is Gemma. We have a red-tailed hawk named Iris, and a red-shouldered hawk named Daisy. And Daisy's our newest. We just got her a year ago from the Southeastern Raptor Center.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, she had an injury and a bit of arthritis in her wing, and she was deemed non-releasable by the rehab center at Auburn. And we were on the list in search of any raptors that may need permanent placement, and so she was able to come live with us. And
That's wonderful.
so we're working with her, introducing her to the education life and the career that is in her future. So she's learning to perch and come down, and to volunteer to come down to do her health checks, whether we check her weight or we trim her talons or we trim her beak. We're doing glove training. So we don't flight train at our property, but we do glove train. So that means we put these anklets on them, or jesses, and a lead is attached, and then they attach to our glove and they sit on our glove. And the intent is that we create a controlled environment where they know that it's all a positive reinforcement. They're not in trouble, they're not going to get hurt. That if they sit on that glove and they remain calm, and we remain calm with them, that we will create that controlled environment, and then they'll go back and they'll be fed. And it's also enrichment. So it's a wild animal. You know, these hawks and owls, they're gorgeous and they're close to us, but they're not pets. You know, we wear gloves for a reason. They can hurt you, and it's our responsibility to take care of them. You know, we've been charged with that. We're responsible for it, and we love it. We have a phenomenal education team who puts their whole heart and soul into the animal care, and part of that is enrichment. So if you have an animal like that, you have to provide something that stimulates natural behaviors. And so they need to have different size perches. They need to have different types of food. They need to have different water sources, whether it's a pool or a little bowl. They need to have, they need to be able to see different things. So the fact that their aviaries are outside on the bird of prey trail, they have constant movement around them. They're seeing squirrels and birds. Their children are coming by. We do have quiet zone signs, so we're asking folks not to yell when they're out there to spook them, but it keeps their minds active, and that's what's really important.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That space that you create for these birds, because what else would they, where else would they go?
Right. And we're very lucky. We do have some really phenomenal environmental education organizations throughout our state. We have an amazing Environmental Education Association of Alabama, the EEAA. Really cool people there, very dedicated folks to our environment and teaching folks about it and getting the information out there. But yeah, you have to have federal permits, you have to have state level permits. Our raptors are now protected by the USDA, so you have to get all these boxes checked and maintained in order to have them on your facility and to provide that care.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can go visit those.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're out there anytime somebody wants to come to our property. If our gates open, the Longleaf Botanical Gardens are throughout the property. We're 125 acres. We have nature trails. We have the bird of prey trail. We have learning hotspots along the way with signage to tell you, with QR codes to kind of give you more information about microclimates or endangered species or monarch butterflies and their migration. What's a rotten log, what happens to it, why do we have it, why is it important? And then we have some beautiful tropical gardens and things like that. So
I didn't realize 126 acres.
Yes, it's a big lot.
Wow.
It's a big lot, yeah.
That is,
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was large, but I didn't realize that. And it is so
Yeah.
beautiful out there.
We enjoy it. It's our little, it is sanctioned as a treasure forest, and we're only 3 miles from downtown Anniston, and you don't know it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it because you're surrounded by the woods. So it's our little, peace and quiet home. I like it.
So a nice little getaway. And yeah, well, we've got so many more things to talk about.
For sure.
We've got to go check in and see what the weather is going to be like this week with Lacey Clontz. And yeah, we'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. We've got a few wet days ahead. Today, temperatures are getting up to 85 degrees, and we'll see a 40% chance of rain. Then tomorrow, it's getting up to 86 with a 50% of scattered thunderstorms. And then finally on Wednesday, a high of 89 degrees, but with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV 24 weather.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance. Looking for the best deals in town? Tune in to Shop 24, your ultimate destination for exclusive discounts and savings.
From local restaurants to grocery stores and everything in between, we've got unbeatable deals waiting just for you.
But remember, these deals are hot and limited, so grab your phone fast and be the first to dial in.
Don't miss out on the savings.
Tune in to Shop 24 and shop smart today. Jazz hands!
I am Lacey Collins with your TV 24 News Update. 3 men who went missing in the Pacific Coast state of Baja California have died from apparent gunshot wounds to the head. The victims are believed to be identified as Jake and Colin Robinson of Australia and their American friend Jack Carter Road. State prosecutors have not officially confirmed the identities of the missing men, but have said their family members are viewing the bodies to see if they can be identified by sight. Chief State Prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade Ramirez said the probability that the corpses belong to the missing men is very high, noting that they still appeared to be identifiable by sight. They were on a surfing trip when they went missing last weekend. Mexican authorities say they were killed because thieves wanted the tires from their trucks. Their bodies were found decomposing after the thieves dumped them into a remote well about 40 feet deep, approximately 4 miles from where the men were killed. The well also contained a 4th person that had been there much longer. We'll have more on this story as updates come in. The Anniston Police Department has promoted 4 of their officers. Effective as of Friday, May 3rd, Donald McGraw and Preston Sorrell were promoted to the rank of Sergeant. Randy Greer and Justin Hartley were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is Monday, May the 6th, 7:47 in the morning, and we are starting our day off today with our friend Sarah Woolmaker, the assistant director there at Anniston Museum and Gardens. And we have a special friend with us this morning. This is Snickers.
Snickers, yes ma'am. Snickers, the African fat-tailed gecko.
He's so
He's on the move this
He's
morning
on
too.
The move. He's exploring. He's checking
laps.
it out.
It's like a treadmill right now.
So, so tell us about Snickers.
So Snickers has been with us, I want to say, since maybe 2018 or 19. The years kind of run together, to be honest with you. But he's an African fat-tailed gecko, so native to Africa. What I like about him are some of his adaptations. He's a pretty cool dude. If you notice, he has a really beautiful, almost bumpy skin here. Okay, if you want to touch his hide. It's very smooth, right?
Wow.
Very, very smooth. And where he lives, he can live in a dry or a wet environment, but he's mainly going to be over there by like the savannas. And if you notice his tail, it looks pretty similar to his face, and that's on purpose. So when he gets feisty and he finds some food, he'll start stalking it, similar to like how a cat would slow down and maybe puff out their tail and, you know, kind of hunch a little bit. He will do that, and then he'll pick up his tail and he'll wag his tail in the air. Okay, so he'll just wave it back and forth like this, almost like he's shaking it like a flag. And what do you think he's doing when he does that?
Distracting?
Exactly. It's a caudal lure, and so he is wagging his tail, trying to make the prey item think, oh no, the face is over there, it's going to eat me, and then he can go in and strike. So he'll eat like insects and things like that. And we feed him crickets at the museum, and he may get a mealworm here and there, or maybe a small cockroach, a Madagascar hissing cockroach, but primarily crickets. And it's really funny to see his behavior, though. A lot of our geckos, you'll see they have, like around here, we have those little house geckos, or Mediterranean geckos, I think is another name for them, especially like southern Alabama and sometimes in Georgia. They look really small and they're translucent. They have the sticky toes, right? And so they can climb really well. This guy has nails on his toes, and that's because he's in that sandy environment. So he doesn't want to pick up the sand as he goes. But he can go into little burrows or find little crevices and rocks to hide. And look at him holding himself up.
He's
it's so funny.
Cute.
He is so funny.
Look at this little guy. He's showing off for the camera.
Yeah, getting a good side, he said.
Oh, Snickers. He's so fun. So he likes to eat crickets.
He likes to eat crickets. And what's neat about these guys, we talk a lot about biomimicry at the museum. And it's one of the aspects of it is that we talk about how science is learning from the natural world. And so with geckos, especially those sticky toes, they're using that technology, they're trying to basically copy that and use that technology to be able to climb the sides of buildings and things. So we're learning, we're observing and learning, similar to how, you know, hey, we said, hey, these animals, they're camouflaged, we can't see them, we should wear camouflage to go hunting now. You know, similar concept, but we practice that biomimicry, and we want to copy what the biological world is doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's a fun guy. He's good for all ages. You know, he's not really scary. The little kids like him. He's a really cool texture. He's very calm. You can have these in the pet trade. Leopard geckos, I would say, are more common, and those are the yellow guys. And they have a thicker tail like this, and it has a point on the end. They same behavior with shaking it, but they're yellow with really pretty black dots all over them, and they're just more common in the pet trade than the African fat-tailed here.
So the kids love him.
They do. Yeah, they do. Because I mean, he's got a pretty friendly face.
Yeah,
you know?
he's super cute.
He has a pretty friendly face here.
Yeah.
And I mean, anything with a mouth can bite, but if he's going to bite, he's typically going to bite us because we're the ones holding him. So we don't let kids hold him for that reason.
Yeah.
But he's a good introduction to our reptiles and amphibians.
They usually start with him and kind of work up
Yeah,
from
we try
there.
to start small. We do a lot of birthday parties at the museum.
Oh,
so you
fun.
can host a children's birthday party on Saturdays in the morning or in the afternoon. And when we do that, you can add live animals. And so we'll bring 3 critters out. And we have a list of things that we offer to bring out. And like with the snakes, we'll say, do you want a small, medium, or large size snake? And then, because when they shed, you don't want to have them out and engaging with folks because they're vulnerable and they're not in the best mood.
Yeah.
And so we just go small, medium, or large, and then we determine by the size and then see who's ready for their show.
How fun.
Yeah.
What a fun place to have a birthday party.
It is a lot of fun.
That's where you can make a lot of memories. And, yeah.
And it's, you know, a lot of our locals, they may think, well, we've been there before, right? But your kid hasn't been there with their friends. And that's the same with field trips. When you see, it's so much fun when you see a kid that has been to the museum before, and then you see them like they become the tour guide. And so they have to show their buddies everywhere in here, and they're like, oh, but did you see this? Look at this really cool thing. And it's really cute to see them kind of take charge.
Yeah, and that's so important to get them so excited about learning. And, you know, I mean, that's a creative way to get them excited about learning.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Getting that great information that they need. Oh, he's just so cute.
He
I
is
love
cute.
Snickers.
They have really good eyesight too, which is cool.
Do they? How old do you think he is?
I am not sure. I believe, so the Alabama Herpetological Society, which is a mouthful, but so the Alabama Herpetological Society, they donated him to us. So they had a huge collection, and they started to narrow in on primarily just natives, and so they started rehoming their exotics, and they gave us Snickers. I'm not sure how long they had him. He can live 15 to 20 years though.
Oh, wow.
So even this little guy has a pretty decent lifespan.
Yeah, that is a good. He's got a good life there.
Exactly.
He gets
He's living
to
his
hang
best
out.
life.
He is living his best life.
And if folks want to see him, you know, up close and personal, we do have HerpFest coming up.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, HerpFest is a celebration of reptiles and amphibians. We host it on the first Saturday of June every year, and it keeps growing. So it's been wonderful. This show came back years ago, and when I started at the museum in 2015, we started bringing it back. So there was a lull there where we didn't host it, and then we brought it back, and one of my advisors and professors at Jacksonville State, he was my point of contact. He was Dr. Frog, so Dr. George Klein. And if you see our image, there's a cute little tree frog on that. And so that is to represent Dr. Klein. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But so we continue to honor him with HerpFest. He was, again, his name was Dr. Frog, so obviously he was a real big herpetologist, so he studied reptiles and amphibians and had a lot of really great contacts throughout the state, and he helped me develop this. And now Amy Gray is our education director, and she's taken it and is running full speed ahead. We have many different environmental education groups that come, and they bring live animals. You'll meet frogs, salamanders, turtles. We have over 30 species of turtles in Alabama.
Yeah.
#1 for the state, so yay Alabama. We have 49 different species of snakes, so we'll see pretty much everything represented there, as well as exotics. We bring people from throughout. So Auburn University is going to come and represent. The Extension Center is going to come and represent. We have that Alabama Herpetological coming. There's an organization, a turtle organization in Talladega coming. Nakalula Falls is coming. So just a good wide range of JSU always has a strong presence. And you come in. The tickets are $10 a person, and that's for an adult or a child, but our babies, 0 to 3, are free. It's at our Longleaf Event Center, so I don't think you went that far up when you came to visit us. All the way up the hill?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you pass the Anniston Museum and the Berman Museum. You go all the way past the monarch butterfly, and it's the Longleaf Event Center. And so when you walk in, we have a huge hall where everybody's set up with their tables, and you can walk around and meet people from all over the state. You meet all their critters. You ask your questions. A lot of times there's time for that one-on-one conversation because most of those groups will bring more than one representative so that you can have that talk. And then last year we had this really cool woman. I love face paint. Okay, I'm a child at heart.
Oh yeah.
And she does like your whole face.
Oh, cool.
You know, so I had a whole snake painted across my face. A lot of fun.
Nice.
She's coming back, and then we do lectures and presentations. So some of that is teaching about how to identify venomous snakes. You know, we've got 6 venomous snakes in our state. We might not be able to learn all 49. So let's start with just learning our venomous.
Sure.
And then we're a little bit safer, right?
Yes.
So about what to do, how to identify them, maybe what's most recent in research for reptiles and amphibians. Just a lot. It's a really good learning opportunity, and we have lots of games and activities. There's a slime pool. So
a slime pool.
A slime pool.
Okay.
So everybody loves slime. Parents don't, but we do have buckets to clean off with, so don't worry. But it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it.
Slime's kind of fun. I grew up in the whole Nickelodeon slime.
Exactly. So
how fun! Well, I'm gonna have to get Stella, and we're gonna have to come to HerpFest.
She would love it.
Yes.
Kid you not, she would love it.
I would love it too. That is one of the things, with snakes, and I know, being fearful of snakes, that is a true fear. But also, I think it's a lot about we don't understand it. We're not sure which ones are venomous and which ones are not, and so we're afraid of all of them.
And they
just
can startle
because of the
you.
sex.
They're sitting there, you don't see them, you walk by, and all of a sudden it moves. That's going to startle you for sure. Yeah.
But having that knowledge of, okay, this snake is, I'm going to leave it alone. It'll leave me alone. But then knowing which ones, because you hear some people say, well, a good snake is a dead snake, but that's not always true because we need snakes. They're very important. Very important.
Yeah, that food chain. And I'll tell you, with venomous snakes, so your, let me get this right. I think it's your rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are copperheads. I think it's copperhead venom. They've used it to start fighting breast cancer. Rattlesnake venom, they're using it to start with blood thinners. So you can learn, just like that biomimicry, you can learn from, we can take aspects from these different animals and see how it can be applied to us.
Yes.
So, and then of course your natural pest control. I don't particularly want rodents in or near my house, so I'd rather have a snake around. I respect it if other folks didn't. You can just call up your local pest control and have them come help you out there. Maybe.
Let nature take care of nature, though.
Exactly.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Well, we've got so many more things to talk about. We've got to go to a quick break now. So Snickers, stay tuned. We're going to talk some more about Anniston Museum and Gardens and all of the fun things that are going on there. So we'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. We've got a few wet days ahead. Today, temperatures are getting up to 85 degrees, and we'll see a 40% chance of rain. Then tomorrow, it's getting up to 86 with a 50% of scattered thunderstorms. And then finally on Wednesday, a high of 89 degrees, but with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life's challenges. and I found all 3 at Gaston State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an office administration student at Gaston State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There is a real sense of support at Gaston State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gaston State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
All right. A little more about academics. Parents, do you want to secure a bright future for young people? We have science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Get your kids involved with Academic STEM Kits. Go to www.academics.com to order your STEM kits. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
I'm Lacey Collins with your TV 24 News Update. 3 men who went missing in the Pacific Coast state of Baja California have died from apparent gunshot wounds to the head. The victims are believed to be identified as Jake and Colin Robinson of Australia and their American friend Jack Carter Road. State prosecutors have not officially confirmed the identities of the missing men, but have said their family members are viewing the bodies to see if they can be identified by sight. Chief State Prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade Ramirez said the probability that the corpses belong to the missing men is very high, noting that they still appeared to be identifiable by sight. They were on a surfing trip when they went missing last weekend. Mexican authorities say they were killed because thieves wanted the tires from their trucks. Their bodies were found decomposing after the thieves dumped them into a remote well about 40 feet deep, approximately 4 miles from where the men were killed. The well also contained a 4th person that had been there much longer. We'll have more on this story as updates come in. The Anniston Police Department has promoted 4 of their officers, effective as of Friday, May 3rd. Donald McGraw and Preston Sorrell were promoted to the rank of Sergeant. Randy Greer and Justin Hartley were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is 8:02 in your morning on May the 6th, and we are hanging out here with Sarah Woolmaker, the Assistant Director there at Anniston Museums and Gardens, and there are so many fun things going over there, so if you have not visited, what are you waiting for? Go, it is so cool. And we have another friend, although Snickers was pretty sad to be out of the limelight.
Give us the puppy dog eyes over there.
Yes. Oh, it was so sad.
I thought I was the star.
When you brought it, when we put him up in his little bed and then brought out this cute little hedgehog, Snickers was just looking at us like, what about me? It's so funny. Well, now introduce us to this sweet little one.
This little cranky Gus over here is,
she mad.
Her name is Amy Rose. So if we have any Sonic fans, Amy Rose is the name of Sonic's girlfriend. And she's an African pygmy hedgehog. So we don't have any hedgehogs here in Alabama, but there is a European hedgehog that is pretty much double her size and darker, more dark browns, and they're the ones that in Europe they're going to have, like in England and things, they'll have them in their garden, and they're like the opposite of a rabbit. They'll eat the bugs, so they'll protect your plants.
Oh, nice.
From what I've read, a lot of people in England, and they'll find a hedgehog, and when they do, they're like, okay, yes, please live here, and they'll encourage it. But this girl's going to live in Africa. She likes her dry environments. She does not see too well. So she's nocturnal though, and she's going to follow that lovely little nose that she has here. Let's
It's just
turn
a
her.
going. I don't know if we can zoom in on that cute little
She's
nose.
all
Look at
spunk.
that.
She is all spunk. So she has this great natural defense here, all these lovely spines. These are actually hairs. They're modified hairs.
Okay.
So if you see a baby hedgehog, they have really soft spines, and then over time they will kind of pop out and harden. So they are hair, and they do shed them from time to time, but they can't shoot them out at us. A lot of times kids will see them and they'll go, oh, it's a porcupine, you know, oh, it's going to shoot those spines out at us. And I think Sonic does that in the game a couple times. So it is a little bit of false representation there. But she has them all the way down her forehead, which is what she's been doing with me. She is not happy that I woke her up.
She
was
wants to go back to
snoozing,
sleep.
which again, nocturnal. So I hear you. But you can see how well she defends herself, because if I come at her at a different angle and she doesn't like it, she tenses those muscles and moves the spines that direction. And she has to, because she's a little guy, and you know, if there's a larger predator like an owl or something that might see this as a source of food, she needs something to protect herself with. Because if we flip her over, she can curl up into a ball here, but she's got a nice soft belly deep in there. So she's got to curl up into that ball to protect herself.
Gosh. Let's zoom in on
When
her.
she wakes up, she's like, no, don't you put me in that ball.
She's mad.
But she is a sweet little creature here, though.
She is.
Yeah. She's all spunk. Yeah, she's all spunk. And, you know, folks have these as pets, and some of them, they can become fairly friendly, but they all have an attitude. You know, they all have an attitude. And she, too, is protected with the USDA, so we have folks that come and check on her and make sure that she's getting the care that she needs. And
she seems very happy.
She's in her own way.
Very well
happy in her
taken
own
care of.
way,
There you
for
go.
sure.
Very well taken care of.
Yes.
We'll see. Very spoiled.
Yes.
And you said that you don't have to handle with gloves, but like with your sensitivity too.
Yeah,
but
I do have sensitive skin. So even when she's not cranky like this, all those little spines, it just irritates the palms of my hands. They'll be itching for the rest of the day. So I just wear these gloves instead, and it helps me out a little bit. They do, so I'm going to stop her from doing this because she's a monkey. But one of their behaviors is they will find something, a different taste, and they will lick it, right?
Oh.
And they might even nibble on it. And they'll create a paste in their mouth. Okay, this is one of my favorite things to tell kids. Okay. They'll create a paste, and you know, in those cartoons when kids are brushing their teeth, or a character's brushing their teeth, and they get that big white foam, and it looks like they have rabies or something like that. She'll get that going, and she'll turn around and she will lick all of that paste all over her spines. So if it's something that she considers gross, she will smell it, lick it. It could be another animal's poop.
Oh.
Okay, she has no boundaries, and she will lick it, cover herself in it, and it's another form of protection. So the thought is, okay, if these spines don't deter you, I'm going to smell like roadkill, and you're not going to want to eat me because I don't smell good anymore. Huh. So it is a pretty good defense mechanism there. But when she's out here looking for it, looking for food or anything to protect herself, she uses that cute little schnoz that she has there.
It is so cute. It's just going down.
She's got a pointed nose.
So do they make pretty good pets? You did say that people have them as pets, and I know someone who has one as a pet, but are they
I think
pretty
they're
good
fine.
pets?
It's just, with everything, it's just knowing what your animal is and doing the research on them, you know. If you get a hedgehog and you don't research, okay, what is the proper diet for it? You know, if malnutrition is a problem, having the right kind of enclosure, you need to make sure you've got something secure for them. They can get a little lazy, so a lot of folks will have balls in there, or they'll get them out and let them free roam for a little bit in order to get that exercise in. Exercise is important for these guys just like it is for you and me. So you do have to trim their toenails sometimes, and she's got a couple of toes that we'll probably trim. She's like, ooh, let me follow this way.
I want to pet her, but I don't know. I am a little nervous. I don't want her to fall.
Yeah, I know. She's brave.
I don't know what to
"Let's
do
check it
here.
out."
Do you want me to see you? Oh, she didn't like
She
it.
has an attitude, I'm telling you. We brought characters today. Everybody's
She's
got a
like, what
different
are
kind
you
of personality.
thinking? I didn't give
She
you
definitely wants to hang out
permission.
with you, though. She's headed your
Hi.
way. You
Do
see
you
her
like
licking her nose?
me?
She's like, hey, I'm tasting different things here.
Who knows? There might be a little leftover from Chef Dave Day
There's
on
no
Wednesday.
telling. There's no telling.
All the smells.
But you see, you know, once she kind of wakes up, she gets active, she's
ready.
moving around, and at night she is active. She runs around her enclosure. She comes out and does her programs, and then she goes right on back to bed. I will say they can be pretty stinky. So if you have one as a pet, just be prepared to clean up after them because their feces is not for the.
Well, she'll cover
weak
her. Does she
stomach.
cover herself in her feces as well? The paste.
Not that I've ever noticed.
Okay.
No,
So it's more of
it's
a-
mainly other scents because she doesn't want to smell like herself. So, but you know, they'll burrow, they'll go underneath things. So for her, we put her in pine shavings, and then she has like a little hidey hole, and she has a tube that she can go through, and she has her water bowl, and then there's actual hedgehog foods you can buy, but they do love insects. So if you can ever buy mealworms for them, that is a delicious treat. They love mealworms. Are we going to slow down a little bit? Thank you.
She's like, well,
Maybe
you woke me up. You better make it worth
yeah,
it.
get their good side. There you go. Show them
Look
that cute
at
little
her.
nose.
There you go.
Check out your surroundings here.
How fun. So she can be a part of a birthday party too.
She comes to the birthday parties, which is fun because a lot of these guys you can put on the ground, they move around, and kids are always like, look at them go, you know.
Look at her.
So,
well, she is so sweet.
and like I said, they all have their different personality, just like you and me. So some of them they like to be pet. She just doesn't. She doesn't like to have her back scratched. And you can see,
she's
look
mad.
at that. Look at that defense
getting
though. Like
so
she
mad
is a
at her.
professional at it. It's fantastic. I love her when you see, you know, what they can do.
Yeah.
You know, it's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
It is.
Right?
Yeah,
you
it's so
wanna
nice
show
to
it
have
off.
that up close and personal, like get to know these animals and get to understand them. And I think there's a lot of comfort in understanding things, just like we were talking about before we went to the break with the snakes. And I didn't realize that venom was being used in so many medical ways to be beneficial. Because nature is, if we take care of nature, nature can take care of us. I mean, it's really, we have to figure out how to coexist. And I think so many times, like we're so often okay with like littering or with being cruel to our environment, and we really have to make sure that we all do our part in working together to understand it and to take care of our environment.
Going back to that littering thing, one of my favorite phrases is "Don't feed the highways."
Oh, yeah.
And it applies really well to our natives. You know, we see a lot of armadillos, we see a lot of possums, we see a lot of owls, birds that get hit, and they're on the side of the road, you know, or even, you know, cats and dogs when they get hit, something like that. There's some kind of motivation there, right? And don't feed the highways is related to if you eat an apple. Okay, if you eat an apple and you get it down to the core and you're driving down the road and you think, hey, this is biodegradable, I'm not gonna litter, it's like composting, I'm gonna throw it out the window, okay? Sounds harmless, right? Because it's gonna break down, you know, it's not gonna hurt the earth. But when you throw it out the window, it's gonna sit on the edge of the road and something's gonna wanna eat that, whether it's a squirrel, whether it's especially our possums for sure. Those guys, they can't see anything, they're following their nose, they're waddling along, and they usually have this time of year, they're gonna have 15 babies clinging to their back, you know, or a hawk, a squirrel's going to go, or a small rodent's going to go to that piece of food, and then a hawk or an owl is going to come down to get that piece of food, and that's how they get hit. So one of the ways, a simple way that you and I can help protect our wildlife is not to feed the highways. So, you know, keep a trash bag in your car, keep a cup that you can put things in, toss it when you get to a dumpster, because yes, you're right, it's not harmful to put it outside, to let that apple core kind of rot down and let the ants eat it and whatever. But the placement of it matters. And if it's on the side of that road, our animals don't understand roads.
Yeah.
You know, that our owls don't look both ways before they cross the street.
They
just
can't
fly
read the
on by.
signs.
Yeah. So just having those little thoughts throughout the day, it makes a difference.
So if you are going to chunk it deep into
Chunk it
the
deep,
woods.
yeah, throw. Get like a football arm and really go.
Yeah, don't just toss it onto the side. You're right.
Don't feed the highways.
That is one of the things, I mean, it just breaks my heart so much. I mean, every morning on my way here, I'm always seeing something on the side of the road, and it's just, I mean, I know we can't necessarily help it, but when I am driving, of course, I'm paying attention to the road, but I'm scanning both sides of the road. That's like one of my biggest fears is like running over something or hitting something. Like I don't know that I could handle it. That would just break my heart. And I know accidents happen.
And I say that, but don't swerve for something either.
Yeah.
You know, just to throw that out there. Don't swerve for something either, because
unless you can successfully
because
do
you don't
so.
want to put you or another driver's you know, life at risk.
Yeah, but if there's nothing else on the road and it's just you, and you can successfully swerve to get out of the way of something, of course.
Yeah.
But that is true. They are often coming to see find what's in the litter, to find the food.
Look at the crows and the vultures that we have that come and sit in the middle of the road and chow down on it, you know.
Yeah.
So something's probably going to eat it too, on top of that.
Yes. Well, we've got more things to talk about. Time flies when we're having fun. We've got to go to another break, and we'll be right back because there's some more events that we want to cover, and we have another ambassador animal friend with us this morning. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. We've got a few wet days ahead. Today, temperatures are getting up to 85 degrees, and we'll see a 40% chance of rain. Then tomorrow, it's getting up to 86 with a 50% of scattered thunderstorms. And then finally on Wednesday, a high of 89 degrees, but with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
May not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. 3 men who went missing in the Pacific Coast state of Baja, California have died from apparent gunshot wounds to the head. The victims are believed to be identified as Jake and Colin Robinson of Australia and their American friend Jack Carter Road. State prosecutors have not officially confirmed the identities of the missing men, but have said their family members are viewing the bodies to see if they can be identified by sight. Chief State Prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade Ramirez said the probability that the corpses belong to the missing men is very high, noting that they still appeared to be identifiable by sight. They were on a surfing trip when they went missing last weekend. Mexican authorities say they were killed because thieves wanted the tires from their trucks. Their bodies were found decomposing after the thieves dumped them into a remote well about 40 feet deep, approximately 4 miles from where the men were killed. The well also contained a 4th person that had been there much longer. We'll have more on this story as updates come in. The Anniston Police Department has promoted 4 of their officers, effective as of Friday, May 3rd. Donald McGraw and Preston Sorrell were promoted to the rank of Sergeant. Randy Greer and Justin Hartley were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Welcome back. Rise and shine, everyone. It is 8:18 on your Monday morning, May the 6th. And we have a new friend with us here, one of the ambassador animals at Anniston Museum and Gardens. And who is this, Sarah?
This is Miss Pickles.
Miss Pickles.
Yes, Pickles is a bearded dragon, and much like Amy Rose, she has a lot of sass to her, too.
Oh, yeah.
She's just a little bit lazy.
She's chilling. She's like, I'm like, oh, okay, hey.
When she wants to get up, she'll get bright yellow and she'll take off running, but if you notice, she's kind of falling asleep on me right now, so I guess I woke her up a little too early. She is diurnal, so she is supposed to be awake during the daylight, but she's she likes to sleep in, we could say.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's early.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting up, Miss Pickles. I know it's early, but we got to talk about all the cool things going on at your home. So let's make sure we get into that. We talked about HerpFest,
Yes.
and that is Saturday, June the 1st, and that's from what, 10 to
3.
10 to 3, and that's going to be really, really informative there. Here it is, a celebration of reptiles and amphibians. So that's June 1st from 10 to 3 there at Anniston Museum and Gardens. The tickets are only $10, and you are going to get your money's worth
for sure.
Plus, because you get to gain so much knowledge. I am definitely marking my calendar because I'm very interested, like you said, in learning which snakes are venomous, because there are, like you said, six that are venomous, but out of how many different?
Pretty much 50 different
50
species.
different species here in Alabama, and only 6 are venomous. So let's learn the ones that are venomous, so then we aren't so, I don't want to say afraid, but maybe,
so you're educated.
So you're educated.
Just so
on
you're more
those.
informed.
Yes, knowledge is power.
Yeah,
and so if you're informed about what it is and what it isn't, then when you come across a snake in the wild, you might be better equipped to handle that. So then you also have summers coming up, and there are kids' summer camps happening.
Yes.
So tell us about that. A Berman Buccaneer, is that what it is?
So the Berman Museum, on Friday, we're opening a new temporary exhibit at the Berman Museum. It's called A Pirate's Life. So it's all about the pirate's life and what we're doing. But to spin off of that, we have summer camps. And so we have the Berman Buccaneer Boot Camp Summer Camp. It's a mouthful, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, our education team is on fire with these things. And so we love a good theme. And I think last year it was Camp Camelot, and they deemed somebody the king of the camp. And so this year, there's no telling what they're going to get up to. It's a 3-day camp. It's 10 to 2. It's in June, sorry. And we do have a registration deadline coming up, but the last day to register for our Berman Pirate Camp is going to be Monday, June 3rd. And it's, I think, 20 folks. So we do still have a couple of registrations open for that. So there's still time to secure your kiddos' opportunity to be in this camp. It's for 8 to 13-year-olds.
That's great.
Yes.
So that's happening Wednesday, June 26th to Friday, June 28th, and that camp is those 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 10 to 2, and they get to learn so much. I can just imagine those little Berman Buccaneers, how happy they're going to be.
And so it's at the Berman Museum, so it's going to be history-based. They're going to see that new exhibit, but there's always a lot of crafting and a lot of activities in it. So they put a lot of spin on it, and they have a lot of fun, and lunch is included every day, so we make sure we feed the kiddos. And every year, I like seeing all these different kids come together because they come up with the best friendships, and they have so much fun, and they get excited to see each other every day, and they get exposed to the Berman Museum, which they might not have before, and they start learning about history and getting connected and getting excited. And that's what we're all about, is we want to get folks excited about learning about our history.
Yeah, because that's so important. These kids they're the ones that are going to continue that.
Exactly.
So if they
we need to know what happened in the past, so we can keep going in the future.
Exactly, absolutely. And so they can come have snacks of chocolate-covered crickets.
Exactly.
No, we'll leave the crickets to
the bearded.
We'll let you have all the crickets. We'll feed them human food. But how much fun is that? I love that. It's something I would love to do. Arts and crafts and learning about history.
Exactly.
Man, how old do you have to be? Is there
8 to 13. If you want to be 13 at heart, though, we can make it work.
I definitely am. I would be in there playing like those kids. I'd even dress up, and I would love that. So that make sure to register because there are limited spots available. So if you want your little one to be in the Berman Buccaneer Boot Camp this summer, please let them know. There's a QR code there. Of course, you can also visit their Facebook page or website.
Yes.
And then there is another event coming up as well. Let's see.
We have an art camp too. Yeah. So that is a mini camp. It's a half a day. So it's from 9 to 12, and it's our elemental art. And we've done art camps the last couple of years. They've been really successful. Every year has a different spin on it. Last year they were painting art or doing activities with nature. So they went out and they picked different textures from the gardens, and they used those as their paintbrushes, and then they like crushed up different petals and leaves to create different paints. So this one we're talking about the way that maybe your water, your fire, all that comes in to create art. And there's 2 different sessions. So if you're one of our younger kids from 6 to 10, your class or your mini camp is going to be on the Thursday in July. But if you're our older kids, it's 11 to 15. And I think a lot of our older kids, they tend to grow out of camps, but this one they're not going to, you know, a sleepover summer camp. They're coming out for the morning from 9 to 12, and there'll be a snack involved, and they get to be with their other, you know, people their age and really kind of hone in on their art skills. And it's always fun to see what kind of creativity they come up with, because kids are brilliant.
Yes.
You know, they and what sparks in their mind, what kind of connects them. And I know when I was a kid, I loved to draw. I always thought I was an artist. I wasn't that great, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But my confidence was there, and that's what I like to see, is when kids come in and they may be a little bit maybe self-conscious or nervous, but when they find others that share the same interests, then you see them kind of come to life.
Yeah, they can be confident in that.
Exactly.
They can open up and just
and they
really,
know,
truly.
okay, you like this too, so let's talk about it. Let's do it together.
This is cool, and we got this. It's so much fun. And then there's also something happening at the Berman. There's a temporary exhibit opening May the 10th, so that's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's on Friday. That's on Friday.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Yeah, so it's a pirate's life. It's a beautiful exhibit. We've kind of watched it come together. We've had our crew working on it. So Sabre Gossett is our collections manager primarily at the Berman Museum, and she knows the collection like the back of her hand. And so we have 17 artifacts in that exhibit. There's an area you can walk the plank. Our exhibits manager, John Parker, created a gorgeous pirate's chest, treasure chest. So, because if you're a pirate, you're all about treasure.
Of course.
And he's been working on that forever. They've been hitting it with chains, making it look, you know, kind of worn down.
Super
and
authentic.
Things. Yes, and you learn about the history of piracy. You learn about some of the famous pirates in our time. You get fun facts of did you know, and it's a cool way to end your day at the Berman. It's upstairs. Our temporary gallery's upstairs. When you get off the elevator, on the right-hand side are all the permanent galleries, and on the left-hand side is that changing exhibit. So that'll be up through, I want to say October.
Okay. I want to go to all of these things.
Please do.
I wish I was a little younger so I could go to those kids' camps, but maybe if you need a volunteer.
That's where it's
you
at.
know,
Hey, in all seriousness though, we do have volunteer opportunities at
There
our
you
facility.
go.
Yes.
My problem would be I'd be wanting to do all of like the little arts and crafts.
You have to make an example, right? So they know what to do.
Okay.
So
well,
there you go.
Well, I
you
could
can
be a
take
kid at
yours
heart.
home.
So you do accept volunteers, or
We
are
do.
looking for volunteers?
We're always
or?
looking for volunteers because there's so many different areas. You know, we have the live animal building. We have folks that come and volunteer to assist with animal care. People that like people. You can volunteer in the education department as a docent and learn how to give guided tours or to help with our big field trips that come through. We have garden docents who give garden tours or who work in the greenhouses. And then we have folks that help with the collections department, that help with programs. It depends on what your interest is, but goodness, we have something for everyone.
Yeah, so no matter if you just want to hang out with the animals or if you want
if
to
you
hang
like
out with
critters
people.
over people, we understand. We've got a spot for you. If you like the outside life and plants, if you've got that green thumb, we want you, because that's not me.
Oh, I love
I try
plants.
really hard, but I have house plants, and I leave the outside to the professionals.
There you go. I love it. I would love to come help volunteer with that. I've got to get my own house. It's plant season. I was out yesterday, of course, like getting everything out from the winter.
You're cleaning up what you planted before.
I'm telling you, or weeding my gardens and all. I kind of let some of them go a little longer than I usually do. By now, everything's usually thriving, but you know. But that's so fun because you have those beautiful gardens.
Yes.
So if you're interested in volunteering, make sure you reach out. So there is something for everyone.
Yeah,
so whether you want to learn more, explore, be entertained, get to learn about nature, everything is so cool. So thank you so much for visiting with us. Our time went so fast.
It did. It was
You'll
a lot
have
of fun,
to
though.
make sure to come back again sometime soon. We love
Give us a
having you
shout.
on.
Yeah,
thank you. And thank you for being such a sweetheart.
Professional right here.
Y'all make sure to go and follow that Facebook page, Anniston Museum and Gardens. Of course, the website. What is that website, Sarah?
ExploreAMAG.org.
ExploreAMG.
AMAG. Anniston Museums and Gardens.
ExploreAMAG.org. So check that out, and you can find how to register for those summer camps and check out more information on that new temporary exhibit. So please do that, and thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in with us. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about animals in a different way. We're going to be visiting with Mailman's Mutt. So they are an animal rescue, and so they concentrate on dogs and cats. So they are rescue. Yeah, so I'm hoping we're going to have some four-legged friends in with us tomorrow. I hope so. Please bring them. So tune in tomorrow for that. So thank you again for starting your day with us Monday morning, May the 6th. Thanks again to Sarah Woolmaker at Anniston Museum and Gardens and all of her amazing little animal ambassadors there. So make sure you like and share and follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Looking for the best deals in town? Tune in to Shop 24, your ultimate destination for exclusive discounts and savings.
From local restaurants to grocery stores and everything in between, we've got unbeatable deals waiting just for you.
But remember, these deals are hot and limited, so grab your phone fast and be the first to dial in.
Don't miss out on the savings.
Tune in to Shop 24 and shop smart today.
Jazz hands.